Hello, Gemineye and Robin.
Hey!
Hello.
So good to see you guys. Gemineye, you're prepared. You have your trophy front and center. Show that to the camera. Let us read those words on there.
Let's see.
Dancing with the Rogue Ballet Stars Champions Judges Choice, November 14th, 2009. That's right, you guys.
Wow.
We're going clear back. We're going old school. Clear back to 2009. You guys were our first ever Dancing with the Rogue Ballet Stars champions.
Hey!
Yay!
Yes. I'm sipping on my energy drink a little bit, so I'm really kind of like amped up. So if I talk too fast, let me know. But speaking of energy, before we jumped on with you guys, we actually watched your dance on YouTube. You can find it.
Oh gosh.
And it is energy from front to finish, from beginning to end. I mean, you guys just don't stop. Do you guys remember that? And if so, like, how tired were you after that thing?
Man, it was all a blur, to tell you the truth. I'm like, hey, Robin, you got to remind me of everything because it was like real quick. It was like it didn't even happen.
I know, right? When you're on stage, and you're going through the whole thing and you get done, you're like, wait a minute, did we do that move? Because I don't recall doing that move.
It's crazy how that happens. It's like an out-of-body experience almost. Like you're on autopilot. Your body's doing one thing and your mind's like not there necessarily. It's just, it's weird how it all works out though.
Well, the cool thing about it is that, Robin, I mean, I have to give props to you because you had the great choreography. I mean, we spent a lot of time and it seemed like you had kind of the first part kind of, in your head, how you're going to bring it. But we came in with some, Janet Jackson type moves and everything. So it's like you kind of improvised as we moved along, knowing that I could maybe tackle some of the intricate moves that you put in.
Yeah, and just to be clear, we did have a choreographer that gave us our dance, but Gemineye and I were a little rogue.
We like that though. That's fitting for this kind of show. Yeah.
So we were like, well, let's try this. And then, when we got on stage, Gemineye, who brought the character? You brought the character. You put on that zoot and all of a sudden, bam!
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Well, I was channeling Cab Calloway,
I'm telling you, yeah.
You mentioned Janet Jackson, but you channeled Michael Jackson at the end. When the music was done, your guys' performance is over, Robin kind of leads you off the stage, you walk off, and then you stop and you do a little spin and you're like, hey!
I totally forgot about that.
No, what I love about it
I forgot about that too. That's hilarious.
I love it, Gemineye, because the feeling I get from watching it, I didn't get to be there, but I've watched it several times, and watching it again right before this meeting, I was like, he doesn't want to leave that stage. Like that, he is in the zone. The crowd is going crazy. Like I can feel the energy that you're feeling. It was just amazing.
It was fun. I had a lot of fun, and we practiced hard with that routine, and I was so nervous in the beginning, and you calm my nerves. Know how you calm my nerves? By you always checking out, making sure you were all put together, all nice and neat, and all, had everything, ready to go and everything. And I was like, oh, if she kind of nervous, checking herself out, I can handle a little bit of nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the pro. If she's a little nervous, then it's okay to be nervous, right?
True that.
Yeah.
Everybody's nervous.
Oh,
Everybody's always nervous. We all want to do our best. And there's, when you're going to be standing in front of hundreds of people doing whatever we're doing, you get nervous for sure. You bet.
So let's go back. I have to talk about the fact you guys were the first you're part of the cast that was the first cast ever. Okay, I'm going to admit something here. Back in 2009, we didn't really know what we were doing. Okay? This was an experiment,
No.
to say the least, and you'll see that, like you'll see how the show's evolved over the years. And when you guys were in it, there was no decorations of any kind. We didn't even have a big screen. We had this little tiny screen over at the side that we would show the Sparrow Clubs videos with and everything. We had a ragtag team of volunteers And we were just, I remember thinking, I don't even know if anybody's going to come to this thing. Like, all tickets were $10 across the board. We had no reserved seats. We had zero crowd control. And that night was absolute chaos, pandemonium. There were so many people. I mean, more people came in. People were sneaking inside doors. People were standing in the aisles because there weren't enough seats. I mean, definitely.
Don't tell the fire department.
No, definitely failed the fire code there. But it was an amazing experience because it was just so well received, and the audience was insane, and they were just loving it. And you guys brought the heat. The whole cast brought the heat, and you guys, you guys really were the guinea pigs of Dancing with the Rogue Ballet Stars. And I just have to ask, Gemineye, you've been a celebrity for a long time.
Anyway.
You have. Even 12 years ago, back in 2009 or 11, 12 years ago, you already had a celebrity following. You've been Southern Oregon's favorite DJ forever, and you're doing things beyond that even now today. And so getting a celebrity, a star of your stature back then for our first thing was like a big win for us. I mean, even now,
sure? Whatever.
I'm not blowing smoke, man. I mean, even now, you just mentioned Gemineye is going to be involved, and people show up. It just happens. And so, like, I have to ask both of you, like, what compelled you guys to take a risk for this little thing that was very much an experiment, like putting yourselves out there for this? Like, what compelled you to take that risk?
Well, I'm interested in, Robin, what made you decide to get into it? Because, I mean, I just got the email, and I'm like, they probably really don't have a lot of people, so I'm gonna fill out the blanks.
It's cool you did that, man. Yeah.
Well, thank God for Small Mercies, but because they were co-opting with the Evergreen Ballroom, and I was a ballroom rat at the time, I was just learning, I was taking all the lessons and, getting involved in the ballroom, and then this opportunity came up. And I think I've always been somewhat of a performer. It doesn't really matter what I'm doing, whether I'm, when I was teaching, whether I'm in front of the classroom or I'm talking to my peers or I'm dancing, I love to be, front and center and on stage. So if somebody says, oh, this fun thing that you're doing right now, would you like to also be front and center and on stage? I'm not saying no.
Oh, geez.
I love that.
That's
just
awesome.
Certain people are just born ready for the stage and the lights. You're one of those, Robin, for sure.
Did you have like any idea? I mean, I'm not sure how they picked the couples. Was it like by drawing or random?
No, the choreographers, I'm not sure how they did it either, because they just told us that they were going to look at all the celebrities. The celebrities got to like give some choices, like I want a faster type of deal or I want a slower type of deal, and then they decided who would go together well.
Okay.
So we had no idea until we met each other.
Well, and
it's kind of like the Bachelorette or the Bachelor. You walk in and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. More like those shows where they marry the person sight unseen. It's like, hey, you meet for the first time, boom, you're partners.
Right, you are going to spend the next 6 weeks of every waking moment together.
No kidding. That was actually a learning experience for me too, because not knowing like the world of dance at that point, I've learned so much through the years, not being a dancer myself, but just being exposed to it and working with dancers now. I just thought, okay, we'll just like, they look good together, put them, but it's so much more complicated than that. I mean, you have to take heights of the different partner and stars. You have to take that into consideration. But the biggest thing was, to be honest with you, was the scheduling. You had to partner people up depending on when they could practice, because if you have a star that's only available in the evenings and you have a partner that's only available in the mornings, well, that's not going to work regardless of how they look together. So a lot of it, most of the time, comes down to schedule availability. Funny, funny as it is.
And I remember they had said, okay, man, we're not going to give you a slow song. We know your little energy that you got. We're not going to give you, a waltz or anything. We're going to hook up a fast song for you. So I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great.
I'm not graceful for a waltz. I'm not graceful like that.
I just want to know the feeling that you had after you got your entire wardrobe on and just looked in the mirror and was like, dang.
That was a power suit, man. That was a power suit. Yes.
Hey man, I went downtown to the tuxedo den, I do believe it was, and I'm like, man, y'all gotta hook me up. And I knew dude for a man. He was like, oh, I got the perfect suit for you, man. I got the perfect suit for you. Just bring it back on sweaty. And I'm like, well, guess what? That's not gonna happen.
It was like a superhero costume, you know. They put it on, and it's like the powers just flow through you, and you're like Mr. Dancer now, you know.
Oh, that costume, Gemineye, was the bomb.
Yeah.
Trying to be smooth.
That hat, oh,
Trying to be smooth criminal, right?
I'm telling you.
Yeah, Smooth Criminal. I knew I recognized it from somewhere. Yes.
Your bracelet,
And-
oh, beautiful.
And I remember your beads. Your beads would be.
Oh yeah. Well, that was all crafted.
Hey, it looked.
That was all hot glue and Christmas decorations.
Well, Robin, you have a penchant for, like, you're very creative. You've been in the show more than once, but I think each time you like crafted your own costume, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Wow. Look at that right there.
Great
Look at
job.
that.
And it stayed on.
Yes, it did.
Beads-
Both times, contrary to popular belief, both times it stayed on. No wardrobe malfunction.
Oh, yeah.
No. We've had, through the years, we had one wardrobe malfunction, but they covered it up pretty quick, and the audience didn't really know what happened, and so we got past that. But yes, thankfully, knock on wood here, we will not have any wardrobe malfunctions. Yeah, future. So, oh, so fun. So this year, you know, we can't have a live show, obviously, so we're not making any money for Sparrow Clubs from ticket sales and some of the other things we do during the live show. But we're asking the community this year to vote with their dollars. And we haven't really done this before. We've set up a really easy system. People can use their smartphone, and they can text RV Stars to 41444, and they can make any donation to Sparrow Clubs. Any donation makes a difference. But while they do that, they can actually choose from a drop-down list their favorite team, who they want their donation to support. And so the winners from this year's show are going to be based on how many votes each team receives from people's donations. So is there anything that you guys want to say to encourage or persuade people to vote for you guys?
Want me to go? We want me to say, well, okay. First of all, don't judge by the VHS quality of the dance.
I'm
You know what
telling
I'm
you.
saying? These days they have the high definition, you know, quality, you know, rocking and everything. Don't be judged by the Betamax version of our dance.
Betamax.
Judge it by the quality, you know, of the dance itself, not by the visual aspect of the VHS recording.
I'm telling you, seriously, ours wasn't even filmed. That was a test tape that Corey did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Ours.
We actually have a DVD that I think was actually produced, I think, by the TV station. And
Was
so,
it by Channel 12? Oh,
I think, because I gave it to them, and that's the recording that they used that's going to be on
I
the
think
show.
the one on YouTube is the one that Corey took during practice.
It's better than the YouTube one. I know that.
Oh, it is? I haven't even seen that footage. This is going to be bonus.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, dang.
We look real good.
But aside from that, and aside from voting us from your favorite crafty zoot suit couple, you know, because I'll tell you, you know, we have the most character. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But I think the more important thing is that we want as many votes as possible for all of the couples, because Sparrow Club is probably one of the most awesome organizations in the Valley. And you know, I think that what you do going into the schools and educating kids and having them all mobilize to help not only the single kid that comes in that needs the medical help, but mobilize into the community to get them to learn what that is. You know, since we've been homeschooling, you know, it's all I can do to drag my child out of her room and off of her phone. You know, it's tooth and nail.
Yeah.
And it's serious. It's super serious. And they're missing those components. And that kind of like go out and get community service, do for others. It's not all about me, all about my phone, all about my little social things. There are other people in the world and they can use our help. And it feels good to help other people. What more valuable lesson can we teach our children? And I'll get off my soapbox, but I think that's really the critical thing.
Stay on. Yeah.
It is really critical. And, I've always been a big proponent of kids helping kids. And that's what this is all about. And once they get the message that's instilled that you're helping out your fellow being, man, they take that to new levels. And what better way to, that's the best message we can give, especially in these times, is that,
Yes.
you get these kids, helping out kids and they grow with that and they take that into their adulthood. And what better way than, our local, what I'm saying? It's local, it's right here in our area, Sparrow Clubs. We're doing it real big for our community. And we've always been a great community we've always been a community that reaches out to each other and helps each other out. And I think this is one of the biggest things that we can do, especially for our kids, to get that message out there and to make sure that, hey, kids helping kids, man, especially right here in our area. It's a beautiful thing.
So you can help kids and vote for the most charismatic team.
Hey!
At the same time, like,
hey!
one stone, yay!
We got that swag, you know what I'm saying? Nobody else really has that swag that we did, and we kicked it off, right?
Oh.
Get it. Okay.
You have a very convincing argument. Yes, a very convincing position. And I think what you guys just said about Sparrow Clubs touches me so deeply. I think I need to hire you guys for some PSAs for us or something.
Yes.
To help the word out.
True.
You guys are both and you have been for so many years, so community minded. Gemineye, anytime we ask you to do anything for Sparrow Clubs, you are there at the drop of a hat, and you last couple of years, you've helped us even MC the show, back in the green room, and you're always a crowd favorite. You've DJ'd different events for us, and you've had us in on your radio show to interview us, students and everything. And you just have always been so supportive. And Robin, you as well. I mean, we were talking before we went live on this thing that, for a couple of years, you did this health fair in our community, and it was in support of Sparrow Clubs. I mean, you've been involved in support of Sparrow for so many years. I just can't thank you guys enough, because it's people like you ensure that this program stays in the Valley. We are very much 100% community supported. And you guys have really helped lead the charge in that. So just thank you for all the support through all these years.
Yes, thank you for using your platforms to put goodness into this world, because that is a gift when people choose their platforms and it's not just selfish driven, but it's for others. And that shines through both of you so strong. So strong.
For real. Once you you leave this earth, you got to have something that says, I left something behind that's good. And what little celebrity I got, I feel like that's the most important thing, is to leave something behind that I could be proud of and say, I put something into our community. And Sparrow Clubs is just one of the many components that is, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome to leave that mark and to help our community in that way. So kudos to you guys, for real.
I know. We can't thank you guys enough. Thank you for your hearts. Thank you for your time. Thanks for doing this interview with us, Jim. And I know you're usually the one asking the questions and people on the spot. So thanks for allowing us to flip the script a little bit and be on the receiving end of that. But just really appreciate you guys taking the time and being part of what we're trying to do this year, and just keeping Sparrow Clubs alive and making a difference even during this pandemic. We're still going strong. We've been saying you can't stop compassion, and you guys are helping us prove that point. So thank you again. It's so good seeing your faces.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, we will keep in touch. Okay, guys?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.